That is not what I was expecting when I came here.
I literally had thought to myself, I have strayed, I should get rebaptized, and then you said the exact words. If you feel like you've strayed.
When I walked in here today, I had full expectations that there would be 5 to 10 people. I don't even know how many there was, 30 plus, whatever it was. And I think the reason is because yesterday, when we did the Generous Builders, the Spirit showed up, moved in the room. A whole bunch of people showed up today, heard the word. I got to establish and kind of make a outwardly expression of that inward kind of connection between branch and vine. My children did that too, as my wife. So it's just great, man. Like, wait a minute, are you talking to me?
Yeah, it was just... I'm glad. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I sat them down. I asked, because I personally think it needs to be like a personal decision.
Right.
So I was like, hey, I'm going to make this decision. And Carla was like, well, I want to too. And I was like, okay. But then I asked my children, I'm like, it's entirely up to you. Do you want to? You can. And they were all like, yeah. And it's wild to see God move like that transformation. So I started reading the one-year Bible maybe like 3 years ago. And then after I read it, I started a Bible study for the organization. Then I had a mentor in my life, a spiritual one. It's like, hey, you need to go to church. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. It does. And we're called to be in fellowship. We're called to do this, truthfully. So, and then what was interesting is without me prompting, Carla grew up Catholic too, but she had like some hypocritical people in her life. And what I shared with her is I was like, it kind of breaks my heart. She's like, why? I'm like, because you're allowing flawed humans get in the way of perfect love. Because humans always let you down. I'm like, you're allowing people to get in the way of like your relationship with God. And she was like, oh, and kind of thought about it. And then unprompted by me, she started reading the one-year Bible. Kind of feeling like I want to go to church. She's like, yeah, me too. And then the kids started coming. And then it culminated with that. So, well, and you know what Carla has said to me before, because like she grew up Catholic, right? Went to Catholic school her whole life. The church we go to is non-denominational. It's called Calvary, but they read the Bible. So like we went through the book of Saul. It took a year. You go one day, they read. You go the next week, they pick up where they left off. Carla actually said to me out loud, she's like, I realized I've never actually read the Bible. I would sit, they would do a homily, but like I've never actually read the Bible. I was on a walk with Carla and I told her this, like during that time. There's a verse in John where he's like, my sheep know my voice and when I call them, they come. But I started to think to myself, I'm like, in my physical experience, how would I know somebody's voice? Have conversation, you hear me talk. Maybe now with like YouTube videos, you might watch a lot and you hear my voice, you're like, I know that voice. But how would I do it with someone who's not physically tangible? I'd have to spend time with them. The only way to spend time with them is to be in the Word. Because in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and then it became flesh. So I have to be in the Word to actually know His voice. I watched this preacher, he said something so interesting. He was like, the guy that's sitting next to him on the cross, and he's like, I promise you, like, you'll be with me in heaven. He's like, I want to bump into that guy and be like, hey, how'd that work out for you? Because if I was to no longer be in this physical form and I'm in front and they're like, why should we let you in? If you go, because I, the only acceptable answer is because of him. So he was saying like that guy, when he gets to the gate or whatever, like just imagery, he's like, well, what are you doing here? He's like, I don't know. The guy who was next to him on the cross is like, what do you mean you don't know? He's like, I don't know. And he's like, well, yeah, I didn't do anything. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, like, I don't know, because he said I could. That's it.
Yeah, it's a gift. You don't need to earn your way.
What's this?
Game ball goes to you. This is the first annual. Signed by everybody.
Oh, the first annual? Yeah. This is dope.
Signed by everybody.
Oh, that's so cool, bro. It could turn into something, you know what I'm saying? Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Whenever I go on stage, I always just remind myself, like, I say a little prayer, like, God, thank you so much for the opportunity to serve those you want me to serve and really pleases you. Please provide me with the intellectual intelligence, emotional intelligence, playfulness, sense of humor, charisma, charm, so I can draw people close to you and you be all the glory. So here's your son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen. But when I raise my voice, because she's really sensitive to like that, what do you think she would do? Shrink and cry. And then she wouldn't tell me what was wrong. We wouldn't communicate. How would my team describe my leadership motive? Rewards-based leader, responsibility-based leader. How would they describe your leadership motive?